take the first one by itself. The first one will be G0804-15 as amended, general ordinance number G0908. This is an ordinance enacting and adopting the merit system for the City of Fort Wayne Fire Department. The above ordinance was vetoed by Mayor Henry on August 19th. A 2/3 vote is needed to override the mayor's veto. I could ask for a roll call vote with yes to override and vote to suspend the veto.
Okay, Councilman Bender.
Vote no.
Councilwoman Brown.
Yes.
Councilman Didier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Goldner.
Yes.
Councilman Harper.
Yes.
Councilman Hines.
Can you pass me and come back and collect my thoughts?
Sure. Councilman Pate.
I'm going to vote no. It's a change of my vote. I've always been uncomfortable with this piece of legislation. Love the idea of a merit ordinance. I think there's a good foundation for it, basis for it, and it ought to be codified into law. I've always thought this was an overreaching ordinance. I voted in favor of it because of a lot of factors that I think didn't put the public policy above those other factors. And I applaud Mayor Henry and his appointment of a police officer who's retired and a firefighter who's retired to expand the wisdom of that board as it considers the issues that come before the Board of Public Safety. And I understand he's also invited membership of the police department and fire department to have input into that selection of those appointments into the future, which I think is an excellent move. I don't think that addresses all of the issues that would merit codification, but I think it's a large step forward, a needed step forward. I think it's advanced a lot of the interests of the firefighters in doing that and their concern on that level. I think that's a tighter bill, it's a better bill, and I think this one just overreaches too much into the prerogatives of leadership and management that are essential in order to have a well-run organization. So no.
Councilman Schoaf.
I also am going to vote against. That is a change of my vote, so I feel I want an explanation, especially to Captain Ridley and the fine people he works with. It's not a pleasure for me to find myself in disagreement with him, but from the beginning I favored an idea which the mayor has actually put into place, and that was an enlarged safety board, which would include an ex-policeman and an ex-fireman. And in a long discussion with the mayor, he enthusiastically endorsed the thought that those bodies should be able to make a recommendation of who they would like to see representing their interests on this board. I think we think it through, and it's in everyone's interest, the policeman, the fireman, the appointee, whoever he or she might end up being, and the mayor's to do things that way. And I know the mayor plans to do it that way. And that being the case, I'd overrode my other various concerns, pro and con, on this legislation. I've always been impressed partly by the argument that we've had a system that has worked well up to now. It's not as if we're fixing something broken. And I've always been partial to the argument that it's good to bring the police forces and the firemen into alignment in the procedures that govern them. So I vote no.
Councilman Smith.
I vote yes.
And back to Councilman Hines.
Thank you. I wanted to vote last because one reason I've sat on this council since April of 1999, which basically makes me the most tenured individual at this table, and I've watched bills come and go. And as a young man growing up in Fort Wayne, I had the pleasure, at least my dad worked on John Knuckles' campaign, and I watched how hard John Knuckles worked to get on the council, how hard he worked to get Richard Ridley II on the fire department when there were no African Americans on the fire department. I watched the 11-month administration place individuals of color in their administration. I watched even Paul Helmke, a Republican, have Payne Brown as a public safety director, lawyer, / HR, and all that. I watched the Graham Richard administration appoint the very first fire chief and also HR director in information technology. And this particular decision for me comes down to who do you trust? You know, do you trust the fire professionals? In talking with Jim Ridley and a number of other fire professionals who are working on making opportunities for everyone in this community, or do you trust this administration who I ran campaign and Rick Stevens and I worked hard for and has not delivered to me on any of the promises that he made? As a matter of fact, there are fewer African Americans in this administration at a division level than ever before in the last 20 years. So I don't trust that this administration, given the opportunity to do the right thing, will do the right thing. So I believe that the fire professionals may or should have more leniency in this particular case. So as others have done, I'm changing my vote because I believe that the fire professionals will do the right thing after talking to many of them, and I just don't trust that this administration will do the right thing based on their record in the 9 months that they have been in office. They've let down the African American community in not having a single African American at a department head, and there's been empty promises, and I don't see any commitment like I've seen with the Leavenworth administration, even the Helmke administration, Glenn Moses administration, or even Graham Richards administration. So with that in mind, I'm voting yes.
6 ayes and 3 nays, Mr. President.
The bill passes. It overrides. Overrides. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Override the bill.
Overrides. Thank you, Councilman Hines.
And next one is Z 080.